How many of you know what the international symbol of medicine is? And maybe off the top of your head you don't know, but I promise you, you do when you see it. Um, and I'm going to mess this up. What that is it's usually either one staff or two or a rod with wings or without, and there's a serpent, one or two, going up it. And what that is it's called, and I'm going to mess this up, but it's the rod of Asclepius. And it traces back to a Greek god of healing. And it was started to be used, I think, around the 1900s, and to be an international symbol so that people know that this was medicine or healing. Well, when I first saw that, my mind went to the story in Numbers about when the children of Israel were complaining, and they were complaining because they were wandering and they had no food, but they did have the miracle of manna every morning, but they wanted food, and they're complaining we would have been better off had we stayed being slaves to the Egyptians. Then we would at least have some food, but instead we have to wake up to this manna, and it's getting old, and I'm sick of it. And God sent down fiery serpents to bite them. And the only way they could be healed is Moses took a rod and had a serpent on it, and they would look to this and they would be healed. Now, did everybody look to it and were they healed? What all did this symbolize? I mean, there's so many meanings beyond this. And so I find it interesting that the story of Moses was about 1400 BC, and the Greek gods traces back to about the 8th century BC. So you wonder if the Greek gods maybe took it. I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But look at how simple it was. That God created a miracle that would heal. And some people didn't do it because it felt too simple. Or, oh, do I have to walk all the way? I mean, again, there's a lot of Israelites wandering around. Oh, I have to walk how far to go look at that? Oh, you know what? I'm fine. Chances are I won't get bit. Or chances are it might heal on its own. I don't want to have to walk over there to do something so simple and so easy to be healed. And you see it again and again. In Kings and Second Kings, you see Nahum was a great, he was a great leader, and but yet he had leprosy. And so he goes to Elisha the prophet and says, I heard you can cure me. And Elijah, who was the prophet, said, go wash yourself 7 times in the river Jordan and you will be healed. And he went away angry, and he was so mad because, first of all, Elijah stayed in. He sent his servant to tell him, and he's like, he can't even come out here and talk to me. Are you kidding me? He personally took offense. And it's again, don't let your pride get in the way of something that may be simple or easy, or maybe you don't necessarily understand. And I'm not saying use blind obedience. I'm not saying that at all. But sometimes when God gives an answer and it may go against what you think or what you believe. I've had that happen where God's given me, when I've been praying for something to happen, and he sends an answer, and I'm like, well, I didn't want that answer. Can I have a different one? And it's like, Patty, if I asked you to do something major and great, would you do it? And of course, my answer is yes, I would. He's like, but yet I've asked you to do something that you may struggle with, but I want you to know. Just, it may seem easy, it may seem simple, but trust me. And so sometimes we do have to put our pride aside and trust in those who may know more than us. And unfortunately, we are in a time when people get deceived and people get led astray. Remember looking for true sources. But I promise you, turn to God and pray. Just because the answer may be simple or may be easy or may be different than what you think, don't let your pride, like Naaman, don't let your pride come in your way of being healed. God has blessed us with so many amazing things, so many miracles in this modern day. Are you kidding me? Let's use them. I hope you all have a great and fabulous week.